Ladies and gentlemen, da, 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 da. Now, guys, remember that um, that we all live and love and learn differently than everybody else, right? So you might think, hey, I do this a certain way, I do that a certain way. I really believe other people feel that way about themselves, and they do the same things, and they really feel that their reality is going to be the same as other people's reality. But that's not necessarily true, right? Every person is different. Every person offers something different. And so, when you see someone and you think, my God, they must be exactly like me. Well, they might be, but they might not, right? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make, darling, is whenever you feel like you're in a rut, or you feel like, hey, I must be the exact same as everybody else, you have to remember that there's different people in the world, right? I often will think to myself, that it's not that I don't think that I'm adequate, because I know I'm better looking than the majority of the population, pretty much everybody. I tie the best looking people. But sometimes I don't feel connected to that, right? I know it. I'm very much aware that I'm gorgeous. I'm very much aware that I'm talented. I'm very much aware that I'm fun to be around. I'm very much aware that I'm amazing. But there's times where I feel disconnected from that. Not to say that I'm, feeling unhappy. I never feel unhappy. Or that I'm feeling, that I'm not, not to say that I'm feeling, that I'm inadequate, because I know I'm not inadequate, but I just tend to lose focus on the fact that I do compare quite nicely to other people. They do say don't compare yourself to other people, but I just feel, if I do compare myself to other people, I'm very shockingly, in a sense, way better than a lot of people, in terms of my looks at least, and my talent. But people are people, and we value different things. Some people might think I'm completely nobody, and somebody else might be like, wow, you are so good, right? So it just depends on who you're around. But anyway, there are times where I feel very much like I'm, very much like I'm just in limbo, darling. Now, it's not that I'm feeling bad, I'm not feeling bad. It's just that I don't compare myself well to other people. Now, this is what they're saying about the social media dangers, right? Where you compare yourself to people and you think, oh my God, I'm not adequate, this and that. Which is ridiculous when someone like me will say that to myself. But generally, I'm only like that for like a couple minutes, and I snap into my senses again, I'm normal again. But in general, people might feel inadequate when they see social media, and they might see somebody really good looking, and they might think, well, I'm not nearly as good looking as they are. How do I feel good? And for me, it's mostly because I'm not. Look, if I go to reality, I'm thinking, hey, I'm really good. I'm better than almost everybody. I tie the best looking people in the world. I'm very, very good. But when you go into the zone where you're like social media and, you're just like, you compare yourself to people that you think are the best. Like for me, if I'm hanging out with someone, usually they're the best looking person possible. So anytime I feel inadequate, it's irrational, right? Because I can hang out with the best looking people in the world. So how would that even make sense, right? So I can only imagine someone that's dealing with social media and being like, my God, these issues. I mean, you must feel very inadequate, because if I feel inadequate for a couple of minutes, which I don't feel inadequate very long, but I have to stop my senses and be like, okay, I'm obviously gorgeous. I fit in with the best looking people in the world. That's my sense, right? So, if you're feeling like you're inadequate because you see people like me, and then here I am feeling inadequate, that just doesn't make any sense, dog. But I don't usually feel that way, darling. Just goes without saying, darling, bye now. Bye, everyone.